Welcome to What Do You Know podcasts. This podcast was created to inspire, to open up those sparks and invite us to what do we each know. Now, my guests come from all around the globe, have experienced, have created, and brought different things into this beautiful world. But what if their journey is just there to be an inspiration for what it is that each of us actually knows? Some of our topics will be about the planet, businesses, money, creation of wealth, relationships, and so much more. And we invite you to listen to this episode of What Do You Know? Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Do You Know podcast. I'm so excited. Today, I have a special friend who's joining me from Lebanon. We got Junaline Bañez-Moussi. Hello, darling. Welcome.
Hello, Lale. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. And I'm really excited about, our conversation today. We're in 2024. We're in the summertime in July. And more than ever, I think the world needs some hope. So today we're going to call it Hope in the Face of Diversity. And, when I think of you, I always have these yummy feelings inside of no matter what's going on in Lebanon, no matter what's going on around you, you just outcreate. And you always have a beautiful smile while you outcreate.
I can only laugh at the situation.
But that's something we need. And hope you require some laughter too. So let's do that. So can you give them a little bit of background of who you are and a little bit about what you do there in Lebanon?
Yes, thank you, Lale. So my name is Junaline Bañez-Moussi, and I am a life coach, an empowerment coach, and this is what I'm trained. I've also been trained as a teacher, an English teacher before, and currently using the tools of access consciousness in my coaching and in my teaching practice. I am a Canadian, actually living in Lebanon, and I've been here for the last 14 years now. And it's by choice, not because my husband is Lebanese, but because I choose to live here with him. And there's something just very fascinating about living in not only in this country, but I have always been living in many countries in the world. And some of these countries have not been so easy to visit or to live in. And yet I always believe that there's something good to be found in everything and in everyone. Whatever I was, whatever I was doing. And I always knew that there's nothing that could really stop you from creating what it is that you'd like to create, especially if it's something of contributory nature, like helping people. So my background is actually like a teacher and also humanitarian. I mean, I lived I lived in Asia before. I lived in Canada. I worked as a global educator in Japan and in Asia. And so I've always had this passion for helping people and empowering people, not just helping them, by handing out, but actually empowering them, teaching them the skills, whether it's a language or personal development tools. And that energy, that energy of mine, that passion of mine, carried over to being actually a coach and to being an access consciousness facilitator and to creating a community here in Lebanon, which I never thought I would when I first moved here, actually. I did not know anyone except my husband. That's all. Yeah. And then, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've known you probably right after you must have moved there, and or maybe even before. I mean, who knows? I've known you a long time. And one of the things for me is I love to travel. I travel to all sorts of countries. I don't care if there's a war, if there isn't a war, if my body says yes, we're going there. Because it is like what you were describing, there's incredible people all around the world. And it doesn't matter what the political system is doing, it doesn't matter, what everyone is saying on TV. The real people is what we care about, and being able to empower. And I think this is a really important conversation because I grew up my whole life with people talking about helping others, and it was always help others who might have less than you or who don't have, the brilliance you've got or whatever. But no, we're all magical beings. We all have gifts. We have different gifts from each other. And there's a huge difference between help, like you're going to go there to try to do it for them, you're trying to give them everything. But then a lot of times with help, you get yourself in the middle of all that mess as well. Instead of empowerment, empowering them to start to have their own awareness, their own consciousness around things, they get to come up with creative ideas. You can be a space, empower with questions and other things, but once they're the ones actually coming up with the ideas, it really is them fishing for their own fish. And if they don't want to fish, they could do something else.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And that's what I loved actually. One of the, love about being a teacher. I suppose I'm always now a teacher, I'm a facilitator, I'm a coach, but I've always loved the energy of being a teacher because I teach not, and I teach people skills. I teach people something, I teach something to learn, something to experience so that they can learn it and do it for themselves, with themselves, by themselves, for others. And I think that's the beauty of this energy of empowerment. And actually one of my platforms was women empowerment back in the day. Still is, but I include everybody now, like we have to be inclusive. But it's not like just women that needs empowerment, because women are already empowered. Like you said, we are already we all are magical creatures. We have these talents and abilities and gifts, but sometimes some of us just need recognition, need acknowledgement, need to just be shown the way. And there you go. Just be shown the way, that there's always a way. It's no dead end. There's always a way. And there's always a choice, what we would call a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what's going on around you, it's interesting because I used to even travel within Washington, D.C. and go to some places with my clients when I was doing some consulting work in parts of D.C. that are pretty shady to most people, and I would come, my beautiful diamond ring, my beautiful car, and not care, because for me, those things weren't the important things. It really was about the people, and not allowing the environment and everyone else's opinion of that environment to mask what I'm here for and to be able to contribute. And one thing I found is, we talked about hope. I think for hope also comes the ability to calm our nerves and, let go of these things that we call fear. And so I'm wondering with you, these 14 years in Lebanon, you've seen a lot. You've seen so much transformation in that country. Like you said, there's even people that don't have electricity half the day because of the electrical plants that were, damaged during the war. But you bring out the beauty there. So can you give us a little bit of like, what is it? What is that inspiration that just no matter what's going on, there's always this other light that shines?
Oh, I love it. You just described who I be in this country. You are correct. I always see the beauty. Actually, for me, I see the land, for the energy of the land, the energy of the people. The people are wonderful. The people are great. There's so much greatness in the country. There's so much hospitality and warmth, and the beauty of the environment, actually. It is, of course, the governments that are always not so great in a lot of the countries that are controlling what the people can or cannot create. But what's inspiring for me is actually the Lebanese people are very inspiring. They're open to possibilities. This is a place where I can create anything, and they're open to it. And whatever that is, I can be so creative. There is not a lot of, how can I say, form or structure in this country, because they're open to change and they're open to everything that's new, and there's open to community. There's some communities that I started when I first moved here, because I did not know anyone here in this country, and I wanted to just meet people to begin with. And one day I said to my husband, you know what, I'm going to organize a gathering called the Spiritual Cafe. A spiritual cafe doesn't mean you have to be spiritual or religious. I just called it that, and see who's going to show up. And then you'd be surprised. I rented a gallery and we had it there, and so many people showed up, and they became like the thing to do in 2011. And then it became like the monthly thing. And then I ran the spiritual cafe gatherings in different locations in Lebanon, like a gathering where people would just gather, like people would host the gathering, and everybody will just bring like potluck. It's potluck, and we talk about anything under the sun, just a community. And this is actually how I started a community of people into the whole wellness field in Lebanon, people who are into healing and transformation. I met a lot of clients and students through these gatherings that I organized, and so many other initiatives that I was really just very happy, because the way they were receiving these particular ideas in Lebanon. And you're right, despite of what's going on in the region now, especially now, with what's going on with our neighbors here, in the south, Israel and Palestine, there is still tension, by the way. It's more than ever. But it's doesn't stop the Lebanese, nor it doesn't stop me from what can we change to create and live our lives, not like be at the effect of this. It's well about living. It's about the adventure of living. It's about hope. The energy of hope is very empowering, because you know that at the end of something dark or whatever, if you go down deep, you hit rock bottom, you're going to rise up again. There is a metaphor. I mean, Lebanon has gone through so many things. It had like, since I've been here, what I witnessed was the economic crisis, where the banks took all our monies. When the government took our monies, actually, not the banks, that they took our monies. It's locked in the banks. It's 2019. There was a revolution in the country. And of course, during lockdown, it was so bad. And then we had the port blast explosion, which like wiped out most of Beirut in 2020 as well. And then there's the internet crisis, which we had 2 years ago, and electricity and the gasoline. And I was like, this is fun. Let's not stop doing anything, because these are going on. Only stupid people stop because they're making this a reason and justification not to create. Yeah. I was like giving classes, giving sessions, maybe because of that. It's like, this is the hope that I would like to be inspired with by myself, for myself, and hopefully that's also spreading to others. It's like, never stop, never give up, never quit. Let's just keep going in the face of adversity and diversity.
And you know what's interesting? Like that moment, it seems like whatever it is so huge, like you can't even see across it, right?
Yeah.
But if you relax instead of freaking out, it actually is not bigger than you.
Yes.
Like there is no person, no situation that's ever bigger than us, because we're an infinite being. But those moments we learned that is significant and bigger, and that moment we relax is actually where the hope comes to play. That's when the possibilities come to play, that the asking of questions. Hey, what's possible here I haven't considered yet? Who can I call maybe for some inspiration? What can I go into a video on YouTube? Like that's the moments. Don't freeze.
Yeah.
Take action.
I love what you said. Yeah. Relaxation is beyond not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's not like what people have thought of, like in this reality. They say that relaxation is like not doing anything. It's not just that. It's actually letting go of the control. It's this control energy, like well, you have to make everything, like you have to control everything and everyone. And
Yeah.
sometimes, yes, relaxation and what we call going with the flow. What if that's what's required? Like just relax. Everything it actually falls into place. And of course, there's action, like involved in relaxation, but relax first. Not having to, oh my God. Yeah, relaxation is so good for your nervous system, because if everything is good for your nervous system, then your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed, you have the space to create and outcreate whatever the adversity you have in front of
Yeah. And I want to put a little word out there too, because you said access consciousness. I love the tools of access consciousness. I found it found me 2012.
you.
And, I always loved business and I could do 10 million things. At one point, I had 10 jobs, in one company because everybody kept getting laid off very many years ago. But for me, it was always about stress, and I didn't recognize until the tools of access consciousness, asking questions, but also the access bars, which is 32 points on the head, gently touched, just lets us let go the considerations, that stress, that feeling yucky, that monkey mind, in your head is just going, 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 can't stop. And for me, it's something that I would love to have every single day. You don't have to have a problem, you don't have to have stress to have it. For me, it just activates creativity, but
Yeah.
also that relaxation that we talked about, bringing your body to relax. Because when your body's in this trauma mode, you and your body can't really do everything you want to do. But that moment you relax and your body relaxes. So, just all of you out there, the bars, it's called the Access Consciousness Bars. We'll put it in the show notes. It's in 179 countries, including my friend in Lebanon, who can contribute to you if you guys would like to get it run. And it's incredible for me, results with PTSD, anxiety, burnout, creativity, joy, like it's the spectrum, of what's possible.
And access consciousness bars is actually one of those tools, so let's say, that I impart in this country. I teach this, and I teach, taught many practitioners who are teaching now in the country. And we also organize community events where we organize free access bars clinics to the public, just for a taste of it, and an awareness clinic for them to taste what an access bar session is like. I still remember during the revolution 2019, we would go there every night in the plaza in downtown Beirut, where all people are protesting. And we bring me and my practitioners, we bring our yoga mats, and we just lie down on the ground, and we put like the big access bars, banner, and they're like, what is this? And just like, oh, just lie down and relax, and then you can protest again after. But
You're
all of
empowering
that,
your protesters.
yes, and they were so relaxed after and we were just like right there in the middle, and everybody is doing some kind of demonstration. By the way, it's a peaceful demonstration, a little bit of violence here and there, but it's generally not like, how that it was a financial crisis. So everybody, for like months on end in 2019. So yes, we would go there, um, not every night, but once a week, and just offer ourselves there. It's like, okay, come and relax, come and have what it feels like just to let go. Yeah. And like you said, not only is very relaxing this session, it actually is life changing. It At first you just relax, but something happens that will create a change in your life. For me, it's enhanced my creativity. So much is what I love about access bars. But for some people, it might help them with, like you said, trauma. It helps with trauma. It helps with, you know, all kinds of emotional and psychological, you know, sensations, where even like getting sick. If you are sick, get your access bars run, and that totally helps and, you know, alleviates that. So yes, this is one of the things that I am offering as a hope, as a hope, a tool of hope in Lebanon and in the Middle East.
And you have, I don't know, 1,000 other tools that you offer online in Lebanon and everywhere, which is the
Yes.
gift of you, you know. And I love it. And, you know, each person experiences differently, because the bars is not about us. It's we create the space, the touch, you know, but it's really whoever's having it, you and your body are the ones choosing what's going to come out of it, actually. Um, but I'm really, really excited to see what you're creating in Lebanon now in 2024. Anything in the hot
On the
burner that
horizon,
you
in
want
the
to talk about?
horizon. Yes, actually, I'm going to be having an Access Consciousness, the foundation class in August. It's all in my website, actually, if we can share my website later on. At the end of the month, I'm going to be having an Access Energetic Facelift class. These are all Access Consciousness classes, of course, that I'm talking about. But other than that, I'm actually just really just being part of this community. I'm always engaging in every community initiative they have in Beirut. You know, and sometimes we initiate something, me and my husband, who's very much into humanitarian work and loves Lebanon and has not left Lebanon like most Lebanese have. We are here to just create the beautiful energy of this country and the region. What contribution can we be in the region, out creating all of that? Yes.
Well, I look forward to visiting Lebanon. First of all,
Yeah,
Lebanese food is one of my favorites.
you're welcome. You're welcome, Lanle, of course.
But you know, I think one of the biggest gifts I think I've experienced is don't watch TV, but really start to research countries and see the beauty of them. You know, like if I were to just pay attention to what the false news is talking about, I would never go anywhere. But I've experienced so many lands and beautiful countries. And like you said, this kindness and caring of the people that is so nurturing for me, not just going there to empower them. It becomes this gifting and receiving on both sides, you know. So I really would love people to get to know Lebanon a little bit more. And you've got a beautiful friend there if you ever want to visit and go and get some awesome tools, relaxation, pamper time, you know, or anything else.
Yes, we can do everything in Lebanon. I always say that it's the land of possibilities, infinite possibilities. Everything
Yeah.
is possible everywhere, you know, you just have to look for that possibility and be open to that.
Yeah. Thank you, darling. It was such a pleasure having you here today. I'm so grateful for you and everything you and everyone there is creating, because I know this is one of those things that takes a whole village, you know, it's not just one person. So, all of you, thank you guys for watching. And what do you know? And I'm curious, what are you creating where you are in your cities, in your countries? Please, below in the comments, let us know. We love hearing from you guys. And click the subscribe button. That gets you to see all these magical people that I put on the show over and over and every week. And we'll have Junaline's information below if you guys like to contact her, find out more about Lebanon or all the initiatives that she's currently exploring and playing with. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of What Do You Know? Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here for this episode of What Do You Know podcast. We're so grateful you're here. If you have not yet subscribed, you can subscribe below. And will you contribute to assisting us in spreading this out to all others who may be looking for it? And comments below. Let us know. What did you think of this episode? What contribution has it been for you? And also, what topics would you like to hear about? We look forward to hearing from you today and in the future.